Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Shima. Look at this build. Abe, we got Atago who decreases the torp detection and the fish guy who increases the torp speed. I think I was testing that build when the fish guy came out and I just realized that it's still on there. Want to put Bay back on there. But Tears of the Desert domination mode game. What's this game about? Once again, we're going to be looking at how to play the weak side. I think this is the hardest thing that most players have. Well, it's one of the hard things that most players have trouble with in this game. Usually when you're on the weak side, and what's that mean? It's me and the Alaska. Everyone else in my team is going to go towards C. That's going to create a strong side down towards C, but it's going to leave two ships versus whatever they got, 5 or 6, plus the carrier is going to be attacking over here. And usually most players are going to get in there, they're going to be killed very quickly, or they're going to recognize the situation. They're going to say, I'm out of here, and they're just going to abandon that. We don't want to abandon the caps that we're spawning on. Domination mode game comes down to who captures and controls the caps. So we have to assume that our strong side is going to do their job. They're going to kill everything on C and capture that base. If they cannot accomplish that, then the game is out of our hands. We're going to lose that game anyways, okay? And you're going to lose some games no matter what you do. That's just part of the game. But if they do their job well, they're going to capture C, they're going to kill everything over there, then hopefully go through their home spawn, the red base right there, and then we're going to win on score. So we're moving into A aggressively. This is a very aggressive play right here. You got to understand that. We got the speed boost active. We're going to try and torp this gap here. We do have the plane helping us out here spotting, so we can kind of tell the destroyer is not there. But if that destroyer leads the Suzuya there, spots us, then the Suzuya and the destroyer can team up and kill us. We're going to be dead. This is a very short video, one that I've never bothered to make. So you got to understand the inherent risk there. That's a very aggressive play. But if you understand that you're making a high-risk play, then you can decide whether you want to do that or not. Suzuya, I think, was dodging the torps from the plane. We did whack him with one there. But look at those torps coming through the gap there. We got 2 sets of 4 or 5, I believe. And those aren't Suzuya torps because he was pointing towards us when the ship was coming through. So we were assuming there's a destroyer back there. They got a Yamato, they got a Monarch. So there's 3, 4 ships plus the carrier. And once again, we only have 2 ships over here. So what do we want to do here? We want to operate under the assumption that we're probably going to lose this side, right? We're probably going to lose this cap, but what we want to do with that assumption is slow them down, disrupt them as much as possible, let our strong side, kind of dominate that side of the base and then move towards us. And if we can stay alive during all that, great. Sometimes you're not going to be able to stay alive. Knew the destroyer was over there from the twist and track. Did a quick check of the roster. Saw Z23. We're very afraid of. Kaba, I didn't think it was him because we probably would have outspotted him. And then Shima, he's the one that pops up. Get a couple opening shots on him. He's down 1/3 of his health. Drops the smoke before he returns far. Actually, I think he shot at us once earlier, but he missed. He hit us there. And once we recognize that the support ships behind us are shooting, then we're going to go ahead and turn away, drop the smoke. And with Japanese destroyers, the smoke, we're trying to break the line of sight. And there, once that spotted icon is gone, the line of sight is broken. Now, as long as there's no ships in our blue circle at that point in time, then we can get away. We don't sit in the smoke, especially not that close to a Shima we only saw 2 sets of torps come out of him earlier, so we can assume he's probably got one more set. He's probably going to try and torp that smoke, just like we're trying to torp his smoke there in case he's sitting in that smoke. It's kind of a common play you see these Japanese destroyers do. All right, I dropped the smoke. Now I'm going to sit in here and start gunning people down. That's usually not the strongest play. Sometimes it is, but usually, especially if you get ships that are being really aggressive moving towards you want to continue to get away from there. So we're going to chime in here with the guns, and that's because this Alaska that we're trying to support, trying to keep alive, he's being attacked by Yamato, Monarch, and Suzuya. We get a fire on him there, and then the Alaska is going to go ahead and finish him off. And then I think their carrier kills the Alaska. So now we got the 3 ships over here versus us, plus the carrier. What can we do? Well, we can try and suicide torp Yamato or whatever, or we can continue to try and slow this side down. Look at our team. They're in the process of capturing C. They killed a destroyer, chased another destroyer away, and then they're spotting a battleship all the way on the far side of the moon over there. Not the most relevant position, but it's a legendary tier game, so you see some really goofy positioning quite often. But once again, we'll have the cap over there. We're going to have 2 bases. They're going to have 1. They're attacking A, but we go ahead and fire at the Yamato, get the reset. Make it take longer. We want to slow them down, right? If we die, it's probably not the end of the world, especially because we've lost 1 ship, they've lost 3, but we don't want to die. We're not trying to die. We're not doing anything too super aggressive. I got distance between me and the Monarch. Yamato's blocked, so he can't shoot at us. And we've managed to drop spot once again. So just by hitting that shot earlier, we reset the guy. They haven't captured the base. Now we're trying to kill him. I'm hoping he's going to continue full speed. Launch a couple sets at the Yamato. Launch one at the Monarch just into the cap. There's a follow-up set from the Shima. And, we're continuing on here. We're just trying to slow this thing down. I'm moving in towards this Yamato. Watching this back, and I'm not loving this play. I think my thinking at the time was this Torp salvo should kill him. He slams on the brakes, so he's only going to take 1 of them. But I think my goal was to kill this guy and then immediately kind of sail towards him, continue to spot the Monarch, maybe shoot him, continue to reset that base, and then see what develops from there. Luckily, we got him with the Torp, and then the follow-up shot from our team takes the Yamato out. And look at the base. They're still just barely trying to capture that base. I think the carrier is doing a good job. He's probably attacking the Monarch, torping him. You can see he's sustained a lot of damage. Both him and the Yamato sustained a lot of damage from that carrier player, so I think he's doing a good job. Shima, he had the plane spotting us. You can see in the map the plane's directly over us. So he was shooting at us. We fired back, missed the opening salvo a moment ago. But now that we're shooting at him, he's going to kind of continue to disengage. Look at his position on the map. He's going all the way north. But you got to understand there's no caps there, right? There's no points to be had up there. You want to be focused. Draw an oval around all the caps on the map in your mind. That's the important part of the map in domination mode game. You don't sometimes there's plays to be made outside of that zone, but usually not. Usually that's where you want to be focusing, especially as a destroyer. The destroyers, when they get distracted going way outside of that zone, that's when their value drops because they're not capturing the bases, they're not spotting the relevant parts of the map. And we have the option now to go chase him up into Timbuktu or continue on into A. And keep in mind, we had a 5v2 to open the match here, and they never captured the base. We had a lot of help from that carrier, who I think is doing a great job. The Alaska did as well as he could. He was going to go down sooner or later just due to the outnumbering situation that we had over here. And then we kept harassing, kept stalling, kept resetting, doing what we can. And now we're going to go back to our initial objective, which we spawned by A. We're responsible for A. And we're going to go ahead and capture A and just seal the deal. We don't need to capture the base now in this particular match. I get that. But we want to cultivate good habits, and we want to continue to focus on the bases in domination mode games. So yes, I could chase the Shima for a little bit of extra points, a little bit of extra damage. That's not really relevant in my mind because he's not doing anything useful for his team. And he's actually going to get killed by our carrier, who I think, I think we have a good carrier player on our team this particular match. So that's kind of the philosophy. What are we doing on the weak side? Slowing them down. That's number one goal. Slow them down. Don't let them capture that base for free. Make it take as long as possible. Try and stay alive as long as you can, hopefully for the entirety of the match. But don't abandon the base. Don't turn tail and run the second you see you're outnumbered. That's not, you're abandoning your duty there. Okay, so we were doing that, trying to wound the destroyer. That's other good things. Like, let's say me and the Alaska both die, but we kill the Shima on their team, the destroyer, and we slow them down. Well, now we've accomplished two really important objectives that we can do on our weak side. Didn't end up actually killing the Shima ourselves, but we damaged him, helped tie him up, distract him, and he never really focused on capturing the base, which of course is a mistake that a lot of destroyer players make, but we're not responsible for our opponent's mistakes. We're just going to capitalize on them. And then here's a little bit extra style points. Going to go ahead and torp that Lexington to close it out. So that's a look at the weak side play with the Shimakaze for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming all the time for you. Questions, comments, love to hear from you. Please leave them below. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.